You get lost in your imperfections. You get lost in the things you want. But if you slow down for just 1 second, you might feel way better than you thought. And if you took a second to breathe, took a minute to cry, or maybe you would see that all this time I've been right here. Baby, I know it, life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here, right now. Right now. Maybe we could go and find a view if we need some entertainment. But we don't have to hurry, cause our conversation's always entertaining. And if you just want me to listen, I can do that too. Because all that I can do for you, I'll do. Oh yeah, yeah. Baby, I know it, life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here, right now. Right now. Baby, I know it, life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here, right now. Right now.
What is happening? How you guys doing? Just noticed my overall strap is on backwards, so I'm gonna fix that. And I literally just took my last bite of dinner because we just got done with our other live stream and barely made it in time. In fact, half, some would say the better half, not even in here yet. So how you guys doing? I see here, James, thanks for letting me know. Almost Homesteading won't be on tonight. Excuse me. It's been a busy day for her. I totally understand. And I just hope that she has a wonderful, restful evening so that she can get back in the swing of things. Hello, Carpetbagger, D.S. Lechner. How you doing?
I can't come in.
And Elizabeth, how you doing? Thanks for making the trek over here from the clock app. I always appreciate that. So, how you guys doing today? Like, how are things really? I don't know if you guys had some crazy, you know, Old Hallows Eve adventures that you went on with any childrens. We sure did, and I'm kind of exhausted from it because I can like lift trees and cut wood and like do homestead work for like 18 hours and be like perfectly okay the next day.
hungry right now.
But you know, walking around a neighborhood interacting with people,
Oh, I'm not hungry.
that really takes it out of me. So what'd you guys do for Halloween? Did you have anything fun happen? Bethany Clearwater, hello. And then you text us on the back 20. What's happening, bud? I made a video today on the clock app that I actually filmed it. We filmed it so that it was a YouTube video. But then I was able to edit it easily to turn it into the clock app format. And I'm very proud of us because tomorrow I'll be posting a YouTube video, which I haven't done in like a month and a half. So I hope you guys will all come and check it out and let me know your thoughts on it. It should give you an idea of how little, not only knowledge, but capability I had when we first got out here. Nice, my pleasure. I was cooking during that live beef stew and beer bread. Ooh, that sounds good. Ate after, and now I'm here slurping wine and chillaxing. Fantastic. That sounds like a blast. Oh no! You stayed home all Halloween, was sick all night long? I hope you're feeling better, D.S. Lechner. Yeah, that's no fun. We did have about halfway through the evening, you know, the younger kids were like, yeah, let's go on Get. And that was cool because, you know, we brought 2 cars so that we could do that. And that was pretty awesome. So, let's see what Bethany did. We took the kids trick-or-treating. They're 10 and almost 13. Don't have very much longer with them wanting us there when they go out. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Our oldest, Brooklyn, had one of her friends come with us, and it was funny seeing the dynamic between them and everything. Brooklyn is just like a light in this dark world, and so it's interesting to just see her interact with people, and I don't know, I just like it. She brings the best out in people, which is pretty nice. And yeah, we did. Our little town has like this, you know, small towns always have like an old main street, right? And our main street had a thing where 60 of the businesses in town, so it was probably like maybe 15 or 20 businesses on Main Street itself, were all doing like festivities type things, and it was pretty awesome. We ran into a bunch of people that we'd seen. It's funny, when we go to that town, because Carrie was a music teacher, she's like, oh my god, you were my music teacher in 5th grade. Like, it's kind of funny. And I just love seeing it, because, you know, with me, I never remember names or anything else like that because I'm just terrible with names. Everybody's 6-shooter or turbo to me. But with Carrie, she's like, you're such and such, and you were in 5th grade, and, you know, it was pretty awesome. It's awesome to see her do her thing. Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, we were gonna go to a whole different town, but last minute I was like, wait a second, where you're describing, I'm pretty sure burnt down in a forest fire. and Carrie's like, well, let me Google it, and then we looked, like, oh no. Yeah, that was not a place where we were gonna go. Nice. That's what our downtown does on Main Street. That's awesome. Yeah, I like it when small towns have like festivities like that. Our little place will have these cute little like festivals and like carnivals and that kind of stuff throughout the year. So it's kind of fun. Just get out off of the homestead and go mingle, and then be able to come right back and lock the gate. So I've made a bunch of progress on the bathroom addition. I am now to the point where I'm going to start working on the inside of the actual bathroom part. So the addition is the bathroom, but what was the old bathroom is going to become like a mud room for when you come in, when the kids come in with dirty feet, especially when we're getting into the snowy season. The snow will like stack up on their boots, and they'll end up with a pile of snow and mud about yay big. So having a nice warm place for them to come take their shoes off and their snow bibs and all that stuff before they come in the house is going to help keep the house significantly cleaner. And then maybe we'll do like a little tour, because that'll be fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of work. I'll tell you what, cleaning up those logs to make the outside logs is a lot of work, but it just came out so beautiful. And I got a door jamb framed in, and did all the trim around the window. Actually, I do have one more window trim to do, but it'll take like 5 minutes because it's a small window. Man, like, it is definitely the nicest thing we have. that little building that's built off the back of the property, definitely the nicest part of our house. So yeah. So what's up with you guys? Tell me what's happening before Carrie gets here, or while we're waiting on Carrie, because when I run out of things to say, she's usually like, well, what about that thing? See what we got here. We got a comment. Elizabeth, the only town that I can think of that burned down was Paradise, California. I am still helping people with claims on that. Yeah, no, there's other ones, but I did actually have friends that lost everything in the Paradise fire. Yeah, they had a house in Paradise. Their business was in Paradise. Both of the things burned down. That was a rough one. Paradise was a rough one. And at the time, my brother actually lived in Chico, so that was there. But yeah, nope, this is a different one. So what's going on with you guys? Like, what are you guys doing with your time these days? What kind of projects do you have happening? Are there like things that you're working on actively, or are you just hunkering down for the winter? Some of the folks I know will just go into full hibernation mode. They refuse to do anything but sit next to the wood stove during the winter. But then they'll work, 15 to 18 hours a day during the other seasons. So what's your guys' philosophy on that? Comments here. And while you're, I know you guys are all busily typing away at your answers to those, but let's do a quick little channel update. All right. It looks like we're up to 1.54 thousand subscribers here on the old YouTubes. We're steadily moving, and I think we'll actually get some really good interaction off of this video that I'll be posting tomorrow on here, which I'm very excited about. It, like, YouTube has always been my goal. I've always wanted to make a really big, thriving YouTube community, and so I have had a little bit of a distraction from, let's see here if I can find it here, from this, the clock app, which I absolutely love, but it's been, it's definitely moved me off the direction of creating the YouTube videos, which is what we actually really enjoy doing. So we shot this video for TikTok, or for the clock app today, using our cinema camera, and I did color grading, and I did all of the stuff that I love doing, all the editing and all of that stuff. And it was nice to figure out, like, okay, I could actually make the videos the way I want to make them, but also have them be appropriate for each platform, which that was pretty cool. Nice. Right now I'm working on a resin beach tray. Is it like full resin for like the 2-part epoxy resin? It has all the swirls and everything in it. I actually have 2 things of resin, but it's like tabletop resin that I'm gonna use to refinish just the surface of our concrete countertops that we have in the kitchen, which I think is actually going to be a pretty cool project. Heated home and do nothing in the winter other than what I have to do. Yeah, I understand. I understand. I actually really like going out and doing stuff in the winter. I keep all of my big welding projects and all of my big blacksmithing stuff that I like to do for during the winter, because it's just the most comfortable. Oh, hey there. Almost homesteading. James came in and let me know that you weren't going to be in, but I'm glad to see you. I hope you feel better. Let's see. Greetings all. Sort of here, but may fall asleep or be called away before the end of the sTEaD talk. Yeah, no, I understand. Carrie's off in the we got a really late start. So here's what happened. We had and just so you don't have to listen to this whole long story being made, short story being made much longer. I'm glad that you popped in to say hi. So so we had actually our first sponsored video that was supposed to go out today on the clock app, and right before I went to post it, I checked my email and they had changed the promo code on it. And so I was like, so I have to re-edit the whole back end of it and reshoot something. So it'll go out tomorrow, but we were super late because we had to film a new video, and that's the video that I posted today and will be posting on YouTube tomorrow. So that set us back like an hour and a half on everything. So it's been kind of crazy. Yeah. But I was wondering if you guys would like to see that little video. It's about 3 minutes long, and it would actually give me some time to help Carrie finish up so she can come in here. Is that something that you guys would like to see before we do that? I think I have. Is it Elgato Media Source? Oh wow, that sounds awesome. Yes, I use a 50-50 mix of epoxy. Sometimes I build trays, paint them, pour epoxy, add seashells, and do another pour. I make all kinds of stuff and gift it. That's so cool. I love that kind of stuff. I used to do a lot of epoxy scales when I was doing bladesmithing. That was a lot of fun. Ugh, they changed the promo code that late? They did. They did. It was rough. Okay. Cool. Let me get that set up real quick, and then we'll do that. I might have to have you hold for just a second, okay? But it's just us. I'm not going anywhere. I just have to jump off of this camera so that I can bring it up. Hey Diva, how's it going? Folding laundry, hello in the chat.
Oh man, I didn't move my chair.
Hmm?
I didn't move my chair.
She made it.
Almost there.
Bored Beth is a dangerous Beth. I feel
Hey,
ya.
Elizabeth.
Right? The overalls, it's like my natural habitat.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, Vegas. I hear him this morning from inside the other room.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Rude, but
I hear him in the other room go, Jackson, I'm a big fan of science. Like that. I'm just like, where did that come from?
high five.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
He walks up to Carrie the other day and goes, because he likes to like work out. He'll pick up a stick and be like pumping iron, you know, but with a stick. And he walks up to Carrie the other day and goes, Mommy, when will I be swole?
Right?
That's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
bud.
I was like, oh, I want to work out a lot.
Hey, Lila, how you doing? Sorry you missed or guys for a few.
No worries.
No worries.
I'm glad you're here. I
You
just
know?
got here.
Yeah, she just walked in.
Like just now. You saw that. You were here before I was.
And you see what kind of a mess I would be in life if I didn't have this wonderful, beautiful, amazing woman by my side here.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And
Was making
I
everyone
speak
food.
the
Okay.
truth.
Finish your food out there. Thanks, bud.
Yay!
Let people know what it wants to say.
Hello, beautiful.
Hello, Maureen.
So I was just gonna set up real quick. I don't know if I can.
Uh-huh.
I think I can. Hold on. Let me just see here. So you want to tell him?
This is going to be buff, right?
Yeah. You want to tell him what we've been working on while I try to get this thing set up?
Is it the thing outside?
Well, yeah. Give your thoughts on what's on what's going on with
Oh, I
the.
got this then.
Yeah.
That's enough, buddy. No one wants to see food in people's mouths. It's gross.
Yeah.
So we have been. Well, Jason, you probably told him. It looks so cool. The outside using those slabs. It is the prettiest thing next to the solar stuff that we have made here to date. It's like so pretty doing that with various parts of the house and like putting additions on and stuff. I'm like, oh, it would look like a cabin and not, you know, how it does now. That'd be great.
That would be great.
Yeah, he's been like busting it out. I've been trying to stay on top of, you know, homeschool stuff and reorganizing things. Brought all the plants that were outside that were in pots inside, which took some rearranging, but I'm hoping they all make it because they're beautiful. I love them. But yeah, you know, they're normal things that are uninteresting, like grocery shopping and home chores.
We got our steps
So
in with Halloween.
Are you on to where you wanted to get to now?
I think so. Let's just
Awesome.
pick up these comments here
Sweet.
and say hello to everybody again. But then what I was going to do was do like a little live, you know, what you call it, of the video that I'll post on YouTube tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
That we shot
yeah,
today.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty funny story, but it's kind of like a scary story.
Oh, here, let me turn this on. Go ahead.
It's kind of like a scary story because of Halloween yesterday. That was my thoughts, at least.
Oh, here, I would like that light on. There we go. There we go. Put some pep into stuff.
Larks,
That's right.
what's happening? Good to see you, or have you in our digital presence. You mad, bro?
Everything's
Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah, we got a late start on food.
What's happening?
Hey, Larks.
Yeah. So because you guys were like, yeah, let's see that, I'm gonna play this thing for you. I think it'll work. We're gonna see together if it'll work, having set it up the way that I did. But maybe it won't. It's all theoretical, and we'll know for sure in just a moment.
Nice, Larks.
Oh, nice, Larks. Yeah, it's finally got a few minutes to sit. At some point here soon, I'm hoping to experience something very similar to that. I mean, I am sitting, but I mean, like, I would love to, like, catch up on some of the people that I like watching and interacting in their videos and that kind of stuff, because I really enjoy doing that, and I haven't had any time to. So what I mean to say is, I'm just glad you're here. So without further ado, here is this video, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it, and after hearing it and seeing it, what you think of me. So I was recently told that it's so sad that I live my life in fear of something that's probably never going to happen. This is referring to my statements about getting prepared for what's coming. But fear's an interesting topic, so let's talk about it. When we first moved off-grid, I didn't have any of the skills necessary to survive out here. I wasn't a big camper. I didn't spend a lot of time outdoors. I couldn't even start a campfire. I was ill prepared. So within a few hours of being out here, without having any of the skills necessary to do this, and not even knowing what it was that I was up against, I was sort of overcome by fear. What's out in the dark? What was that sound? All the things. So at one point, I met a gentleman who had lived this way his whole life, who could tell I was out of my depth, and more than likely, in an effort to prevent me and my family from freezing over the winter, decided to mentor me. He took me over to a friend's house who had an extensive junk pile one day to look for a part that I needed. When we got there, he told me, keep an eye out for rattlesnakes. I'd remembered reading, if you make noise while you're walking around, they'll do the same, and you can just walk slowly in the opposite direction. So I picked up a stick. I started tapping it on everything. Started stomping my feet as I walked. And I made this distinctive grunting coughing sound, kind of like this. This was going to take forever. My friend said, "Are you okay?" But me being completely focused on the overwhelming amount of danger that I had found myself in, didn't answer, and I just continued on. After about an hour or so of searching around, eyes fixed on the ground, there it was, the part that we were searching for. And it was peeking out from under a pile of sheet metal. I looked down at the sheet metal, which may as well have had a neon sign on it that said, "Rattlesnakes live here." And I smacked it with a stick. Nothing. I stomped my feet on it. Nothing. I cough grunted at it. Still nothing. So I reach down in what feels like slow motion, flip over the piece of sheet metal, when all of a sudden something flies out past my face. My whole life flashing before my eyes. Who was going to take care of my family? What about all the goals I had? I jumped in terror, falling flat on my back in the dirt. My friend, having seen what had just transpired, walked over, put his hand on my shoulder, and said, "Don't worry, Jason. It was only a butterfly." So I've learned a lot since then. One of the things that I've learned is you only fear the things that you're not prepared for. And doing something effective to prepare for those things that you might be afraid of is oftentimes pretty simple. For example, I don't really worry too much about rattlesnakes anymore because the vast majority of rattlesnake bites happen right around the ankle. All I had to do was get a good pair of leather boots. I don't really live in fear of what's coming. I just prepare for what I can, and so should you. Just look around a little bit. The world is wild. And if you're both not prepared for what's coming and not even the slightest bit anxious about it, you're not living in peace. You're just not very aware. So, share this video with somebody who needs to hear it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Follow this account if you want to know more. All right, what'd you guys think?
Sweet.
It was my scary story, right? Attack of the Killer Butterfly.
Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, while you guys are typing up your golden responses to that, which I'm sure are already in the chat, I would just like to pick this up. Elizabeth, let's see. I've been packing summer stuff and washing winter stuff, changing out the closets. I only spend an hour a day on it. That's nice.
Yep. That is a thing to do. I just started pulling out some of the winter stuff, and I don't think I actually ever put a lot of stuff away. Usually I do, except then I go, it's freezing again. I thought I was warming up. So this year I was like, forget it. Like, yeah.
We'll just leave it out.
Leave it out. Hang it up. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice,
thank you, Larks.
Sweet.
Thank
Nice.
you, Elizabeth.
Yay.
I got the claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 claps from Diva in the Dirt. That's better than a 5-star review right there.
Hey.
But now you're known as the Butterfly Man, the man who feared nothing.
That's so funny.
Yeah, trying to bring a little levity, but also, I was thinking, it was Halloween yesterday. We'll tell a scary story. I almost made a similar video about having been almost attacked in the middle of the night by a mini pony.
That's funny.
Lila, killer flutterbies. Diaz Lechner, I thought it was hilarious. Thank you, Bethany.
Nice. What's up?
Yeah, that's smart, Elizabeth. I do bite-sized amounts so I don't get overwhelmed. That is the thing.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, I have to limit myself because I'm like naturally just I want to get the entire thing done from start to finish, and I don't want to stop until it's done. I also don't want to be interrupted. It's like a big thing I have to, of course, overcome with 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, yeah.
Larks, there was no less than 4 different times during saying that I tried to recover it, and it just kept getting worse. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Oh, it did. That was
Yeah, it just kept getting worse. Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Let's see, Elizabeth, it makes the point. You can't live in fear, but you can learn and prepare from whatever happens. And that was like the point, right? It's like most of the time, 99% of the time, anything that you're afraid of, whether it be how the future's going or what's going to happen, or if there's some animal out in the backyard that you don't know what it is, it's you fear it because you don't know. And once you know, then you can go, oh, what I need to do to handle that situation is this or that or whatever, right? And that was kind of the point I was trying to make. It's funny, I have never really gotten as much support as we've gotten from the community that we're building over on the Clock app and this app and everything else. But I've also never gotten as much hate. It's crazy, like how much vitriol can be spit at you when you say your opinion. It's amazing, actually, kind of, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, yeah. All I have to say is that we wouldn't be here if it weren't for him, because I'm just not, I don't have the thick skin that he does. I don't even read the comments. Unless
It still hurts my feelings.
I know. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well, this was in
crazy.
response to that, was
yeah.
somebody saying, like, that you live in fear. I like have nothing to fear, right? It's almost like I have to make up things so that I have some kind of a game to play about on that subject. You know what I mean? And it's like I even stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like you just get prepared for things, and then that goes away. The emergency that you take steps to prepare for doesn't ever tend to like actually come into fruition. And if it ever does, it's not an emergency for you because you were prepared for it. And so it's pretty funny. The Sign Specialist, what's happening? Love seeing your success in steadying.
Oh,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
That's steadying. I like that.
That being said, it's also a symbiotic analogy of the butterfly effect. Flapping the wings, changing, tsunami on the other side of the planet. Yep, the butterfly effect rests on the notion that the world is deeply interconnected, such that one small occurrence can influence a much larger complex system. Yep.
Yep.
Ooh, I like that. Being aware is part of the prepare.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the butterfly effect is so fascinating to ponder, as is the Mandela effect. Because I'm thinking to myself, right, well, why can't we develop the ability to jump? You jump universes. Like if every time you're faced with a decision, a yes-no decision, the universe is going to split, and there's one where you said yes and one where you said no. What if you could, like, statistically determine which one was actually a better one? And then you just, like, jumped onto that universe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Totally true. The unknowns are the things that scare you. Knowledge is power. Mm-hmm.
Totes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you. And tons of amazing support. And great conversation, great questions and everything else. But like the 5% of the comments that are extreme are like extreme on one side or the other, right? It's very interesting. Actually, just as like a study in human behavior. Yeah, it's not fear. It's just homestead life.
That's awesome.
You gotta go take out a bear, or you gotta run a bear off of your property. All you've got is a shovel. All right, well, it's a running a bear off with a shovel kind of night. Yeah, and I agree with you. It's not fear. To me, it's common sense, right? Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Wow. Hate. That's a tad over the top. Sorry, they're what's wrong in the world, partly at least. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And it's amazing because they're so anonymous that people feel totally comfortable saying whatever horrible thing they could come up with, right? But then I think to myself, man, how terrible of a life must you be living if what you do with your free time is find random strangers on the internet to leave terrible comments. It's crazy. Elizabeth, this may sound tacky, but the way I handle negative criticism is if they aren't housing me, paying my bills, or bringing me pleasure, their opinions don't matter. That's how I keep myself straight. Oh, totally.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I like, this is an interesting thing for me to talk about. I have very thick skin, and it's like, I worked in the trades. You have to have a short memory and thick skin. That's like, those are the two skills you have to work in the trades. And so it's like, it doesn't really bother me. It's more of like a, wow, I can't even believe that someone would say that. I was talking about in the other live that I got called a garden gnome. You're a tiny little garden gnome, right? And I don't know what the shot was that made me like that, but my response was, dude, I'm 6'3", 260 pounds, and I can almost guarantee you wouldn't say that to me in real life. Unless you're like 7'5". But yeah.
That is funny.
Almost homesteading. History shows that emergencies are a thing. Weather, wars, economic collapse, job loss, health crisis. Yeah, it's like, it's not even a. That's why I ended the video the way I did. You know, if you're both not preparing, and you're also not scared, you're not living in peace. You're just not very aware. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that back up because that was a really, really, really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
buddy.
what do you think?
About. Let's be more specific. I just got here.
In general, like, why is the sky blue?
Whoa.
No, I mean, what would you like to do? What would you like to do better, as far as being prepared for emergencies? Like, what are some things that you would like to feel more over? You know.
Oh yeah. Well, here's a weird one that I actually thought of.
I like the weird ones.
Just now, like just in the last minute or two. It's hot. It's hot.
Hot off the presses.
Is I want walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
When the kids or my mom go outside for their walks and gallivanting, that's why when we're out there, I keep turning around and listening to see did I hear a dog with a high yelp, or did I hear my mom or my son who's 6 say help or a scream. You know, I went up on the mountain to see, does sound travel is good? Like from that side of the hill where you've got this mountain it's got to pass over. I'm my only concern.
Walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies. I know.
Let's do it.
I know. Like I said, it sounds weird, but
let's go get some walkie-talkies.
Yeah, we had one of our boys wander off a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah.
And he was gone.
He was gone. 2 hours it took him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He followed the dogs. Vegas did. He followed the dogs, and then they ran off, and he was totally lost. A lady found him, you know, crying and calling for us a mile down the way.
Yeah.
And we finally got like word that she had found him, but we were looking everywhere.
Yeah.
So my heart's like, oh my god.
I was freaking out. I even flew the drone to try and see if I could see him somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, time goes on and your mind starts to get less and less positive.
Yeah.
But walkie-talkies would do it. Be like, you go outside, you take this, and one stays inside. We got a couple. Good mile range walkie-talkies. That would give me peace of mind if they're outside.
Let's
that
do
if
it.
someone trips and falls, you know, breaker. So
Yeah,
that's a weird one, but
I
it
think
is to me a
I think
type
it's a
of an
great idea.
emergency that I will feel better about. You know, I don't hear anybody when the generator's on. So yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
It's happening.
See, there's something we can do better
I
at.
just thought of it. Yeah.
Immediamente.
That's good.
Almost homesteading. I feel like if we ever met you in person, James would now have to call you a tiny garden gnome. I think it's hilarious. It's like, you know, it's like calling a big guy skinny or tiny or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's funny.
I could wear garden gnome. I'm definitely the shape. You know, garden gnomes are potato shaped. I'm potato shaped.
They have long beards.
They have long beards. I can see the similarities. Sometimes similarities aren't similar, and sometimes differences aren't different. So, ooh, that's a good point. If things collapsed, I need better water skills, building rainwater catch systems. Yeah, it's something that I'm gonna do a whole series on, because, you know, water is life, and it is pretty much the most difficult part of having a homestead without a well. So I would like to actually take that one on, let people know how precious their water is. We tried to do it with the YouTube video that we put out. But I kind of think maybe it was just too long. But it's still my favorite video ever. I love that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good thing to want to know more about.
Yeah. I like it.
Ooh, a question for Carrie. Has there been a learning curve for you? I find it a bit difficult mastering my Furno oven. Is that the pizza oven that you got?
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's actually a question for Jason here, because there's, I think, a few more tweaks that need to happen in it. But like a friend of mine that I know out here has sourdough starter, and she's like, it's my first month that I have not bought any bread from the store, and she's got these beautiful loaves and bagels and like biscuits, and I'm all, ooh, that sounds amazing. But literally one sandwich for everyone is 16 slices of bread. And that's if everyone has one. So I need like 2 loaves of bread for a single sandwich for everybody.
Yeah.
Which means we need to make like 4 to 6 at a time.
Or
6 to
really
8.
big loaves.
Or 6 to 8 at a time.
Really big loaves. You can make like one of those party subs. Can't we just make party subs, love?
So is my bread? Is my slice of bread this big?
Yeah.
And then I just quarter it. I'm like, here's your sandwich.
There's like 3 sandwiches there.
Keep it for the week.
Or you make a roll, like one of these rolls for like the
No,
Subway,
absolutely.
you know.
That's actually what I'd like.
Let's do
Like,
that.
Big long rolls.
Come on.
What? Okay, I don't know how to use the oven. I know that you gotta have the propane on, and you gotta do the, and then and then it's gotta be somewhere, and it's gotta be some heat, and then you put something in it on something, and you put the door on. I don't know. Do you turn it off? Yeah. I don't know. We haven't really worked this out yet. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I want it to work though, so I can make bread with the abundance of extra time I have on my hands.
So much extra time.
But I'd love to not buy bread.
That would be great, lover. And make pizza. James is actually about your size. Right on. Be like, garden gnome? Garden gnome. Nice to know
I
you.
said, be more like a statue.
Yeah. Oh, that would be really helpful. I worry about that here while we are waiting to buy land and build and living in the city. We're so dependent on city water, which is disgusting. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's like there's things that you have to do filtration wise for rainwater if you're gonna use it for washing dishes or use it for any kind of consumption. So we'll go over all of those things. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I could go on our list of projects.
Yep. I look at history as a predictor of the future. It is true. They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, D.S. Lechner. We use walkie-talkies 2-mile radius. Do you think they would think they could go off property because of the walkie-talkie distance, thinking you would come and get them? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they would. I mean, and I wouldn't actually be too concerned if my older daughters went, but what I like to keep as a rule for them is it's like go exploring with someone, like at least 2. So if someone gets hurt, one of you can come back and let me know.
Yeah, but he followed the dogs,
yeah.
like out to a place where we never go. And so it was so weird. We searched all around our property, the properties all the way around us.
The places we do go for walks.
Yeah, and he just followed the dogs up in a totally different direction, and was so much further away than I thought he could have gotten.
Yeah.
In that period of time.
Yeah.
It was rough.
It was crazy. I'm gonna silence this.
Regarding oven, your perspective, my thoughts exactly. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Nice, Elizabeth.
Nice, Elizabeth.
That's
That's very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Jason actually made some bread, and it was very tasty.
It was delicious.
It was super
For
good.
like a simple white bread, it was like a white sandwich bread. I haven't made sourdough yet, and I hear that's where the learning curve comes in.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm about that learning life.
Yeah, baby.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I like bread. And when civilization collapses, I'm going to still want sandwiches.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
So-
too.
So I think we've talked about everything that we plan to talk about.
Oh.
You got anything else?
Right on.
You want to say something to the nice people, the nice folks at home?
The nice folks at home. I love hanging out. I'm
Do
sorry I
too.
missed you for the first, I think, 30 minutes.
No, it wasn't that much.
It felt like it.
15 minutes.
I don't know.
You did a wonderful job of moving it right along
Well, I appreciate
with what
that.
you were doing.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy.
Mm.
Did we talk about I don't remember if it was last week or if it was on the other streams about the new we did, didn't we? The new link instead of link tree and the ideas for the
Yeah, I showed him.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and the project. Okay.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah.
Ooh. Bethany has just been getting into sourdough. Wasn't near as hard as I thought it would be.
Nice.
Very cool.
That is super cool.
Elizabeth, I went to culinary school and worked as a cook in Iceland.
Nice.
See? We're building
That's
an
phenomenal.
amazing community of so many people who know how to do so many things. I think that is so great.
Mhm.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I was actually looking online at the one of the local community colleges to see if they had any kind of like cooking classes, more to sort of like bolster my enjoyment of it. Long story short, they don't, unfortunately.
I bet you we can find something. I bet you there's like amazing like grandmas and people who just want to pass on their skills, but their shiftless grandchildren don't want to know anything like that. And you would be the perfect person for them to pass those skills on to.
I'm sure. I'm sure there would be. I lack this gene that gives a person an ability to enjoy cooking and enjoy putting their love and time and create, and I've been working on it for the last 17 years. I'm really trying.
She's doing amazing.
Really trying.
Doing amazing.
Yeah.
Lila adores making bread.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And we will have a
Yeah,
great night,
have a good
Lila.
night.
Thank you for popping in, and
Yeah,
thank you
you
for
too.
coming to our STEAD talk.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost homesteading. I'm not much of a baker. Takes too long to get results and too little power to tweak things if they're not tasty.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing about baking is chemistry. Cooking is art. Baking is chemistry.
Oh my gosh. Look what Bethany says.
Nice. I'm a culinary instructor for ages 3 to 18. It's amazing.
Do you want to learn any instrument and how to play it? I would trade you.
Yeah.
I
Do a
could-
little barter.
little barter, yeah.
A little bit barter.
That is so cool.
That is really cool, Bethany.
Nice. It's a science experiment, yeah. Yeah, I really should do that. Yeah. Well, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost homesteading. I love cooking. I will make the veggies in our ghost town. Sounds great.
Nice.
Elizabeth can make meat or desserts.
Yes. Nice. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You always make a
Yeah.
make a recipe following the directions my first time, and then put my own spin on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's That's I usually just continue to follow the directions because I don't know what to do different.
See, I have a really
Actually.
good sense of different flavor profiles.
His mom was a professional chef.
Yeah, and so just like flavor profiles, I can look at like a spice rack that has random stuff in it and random ingredients and be like, oh, I could put together a blah, and I'll like bang it all out. But I think that skill was developed as a child, being both dirt poor and having my mom work 3 jobs, you know, and be out all the time. So I had to get creative. And then I was like, oh, this tastes good. Now, does anybody else think it tastes good? Oh, look, 80% of people that I gave it to said that it tastes good. Good, it must taste good, right? And so it's a skill that's built over time, I think.
I was like, hey, we have mac and cheese. Hey, I can make some eggs. Hey, quesadilla. Guess what I'm good at making? Spaghetti.
And you do it amazingly well, love.
I can make other good things.
Yeah. she
Actually, a
makes
friend of
really
mine
good food.
gave me a recipe for a homemade chicken noodle soup, and also, and you're gonna love this, a loaded baked potato soup. That includes bacon,
I'm sold.
sour cream.
You got meat
cheese.
candy and potatoes, which is the shape that I go for.
So I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to getting that. We get chicken stock.
Let's make
Because
some chicken
I
stock.
don't know
We
what
have
I'm-
chicken.
See, it's very like, he can just, no problem. It's just, yep, there we go, and it tastes great. Me, I'm like, any ideas I have that I try, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to eat it. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's something I really.
You
It's
do
a
great.
major struggle because he's naturally good at it, and he enjoys it. I hate it, but guess who's? It's my job.
See, I'll cook things.
It's my
Here's
daily
the
job.
other part of the dilemma, and maybe you guys can help us with that. Is that when I cook stuff, I cook it, and her and I just think it's delicious, and the kids won't eat it. Right? Because they're like, this has like salt and pepper in it.
But
This,
yeah,
this
no,
has.
it's all mixed together.
It's all mixed together.
want
It's
everything
spicy. Like,
Separate.
who are you, and what did you do with my offspring?
Brooklyn loved your chili tonight, by the way.
She did she?
Yeah, she had chili.
That was some bomb
chili
chili.
hot dog. It was
Let-
super good.
Let me tell you,
It was super good.
it was the best chili I've ever made.
It was amazing.
You know what? You know what I did? I didn't have any tomato paste. You know, what I had was a can of Mamwich Sloppy Joe mix. I never would have thought to put that in chili. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is true. I feel like there's sort of like this limit of, because I don't want to spend 2 hours cooking something that all the children are going to be like, I don't want to eat it. When I know what they like and what they will eat, and sit there and be like, and like
And then-
basically sing while they eat because they love it so much.
Okay, my grandmother one time.
Chicken, rice, veggies, sold.
My grandmother had a philosophy about this. They also had a large family, 7 kids, right? My grandfather came home from work one day, walked in the sliding glass door of the house, and like sniffed into the air and said, "You're making chicken again?" And my grandmother reached into this pot, which for some reason she was boiling a chicken, and reached into this pot and grabs the whole chicken out and proceeds to chuck it across the room at my grandfather. Enough said. That's how I feel every time I cook for the kids, and they're like, I don't want this. I feel like I could look around here. I could look around here and find 13 things I could build a slingshot out of instantaneously. Right? And those kids, you don't want the chicken? Here. You don't want it on your plate? How about it 35 feet per second?
Yeah. 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 The rule I think we both had as kids was you didn't have to like it, you didn't have to finish it, but you had to try it.
Yeah.
And that is like an incredibly difficult thing to enforce when you've got 4 out of 5 of them being like because you can hold one down, no problem. but when you get it like
with a
4 at a
funnel.
time, that's just not gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
not gonna, and you've got like
You
that's
see?
just way too stressful.
That's where you and
to be
me
like,
differ.
Fine.
That's where you and me differ. I think I could take 4 of them.
I'd like to see that. Love to see that.
Uppercut. Elbow.
You know we're live, right? You can't say that.
Oh. You guys aren't gonna say anything, right? So anyway, almost homesteading. Baking is chemistry. If you saw my grades in high school chemistry, you'd know why I should not be a baker. You know what's funny? If you saw my grades in anything, you would wonder why I'm not being paid to stay away from doing anything or giving any advice or anything. I was like, yeah, I did not get good grades in school, but I did have a system. What I would do is not do any of the work or take any of the tests for the entire semester until the very last week. And in the very last week, I would change classes. So I'd start the new class with the new teacher at 100%. So all I had to do was turn in whatever work was going to be due that week. They've since changed the rules, but at the time, this is what I could do.
And his aunt was on the school board.
My aunt was on the school board too, so if anybody ever said anything, I'd be like, well, why don't you, me, and my aunt get together and talk about this? I'm sure we can come to some kind of an agreement. And so, but I got to walk at graduation with my class. So, anyway, I would rather find a way to do it than to do it the way you're supposed to do it, which has basically been a recurring theme in my life. I can basically be counted upon to find the easiest way to do any difficult thing. Yeah. Elizabeth, Jason sounds like we have some background in common. Yeah. Nice. That's really similar to how you learn to cook. Yeah, you just throw stuff together. What, do you like that? Oh, you don't like that. Oh, those two things don't go together. I'm gonna file that away.
Now, keep in mind, I could ingest a gray sludge for the rest of my life for my nutrients, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Food is not my thing. I have to have it.
And yet, she
yeah.
keeps me full.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. All that matters.
Ooh, I want that recipe. I can give you a recipe for a killer stuffed pepper stew.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice. That'd be awesome, Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
My mom cooked for a nursing home when I was a teen and brought home leftovers. I would take the leftovers and make them into something yummy.
Nice.
That's the other thing
that's
I can
great.
do. The other thing I can do is take leftovers and make them into like multiple meals after. But since we have so many kids and there's a finite cooking space, we hardly ever have leftovers, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I built the big grill top for the oven, and why I built the big oven and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doesn't that sound good? Stuffed pepper soup? Boom.
No, that's great.
I think your grandma is my spirit animal.
That's awesome.
This lady was amazing. Let me just tell you a quick rundown about my grandma. So, first of all, she was one of the kids that was snuck out of Europe during the World War II period to keep her away from concentration camps and that kind of stuff, and was adopted in the United States, and was immediately like an entrepreneur, but in a time when there were no lady entrepreneurs. She, when she was 19 years old, she helped Quincy Jones start his first recording label, and then was a record executive for, years after that. And she was like a total badass. Like, this is one of these women that you just wouldn't mess with. And so later on in life, she was always into like china painting, you know, and porcelain and ceramics and that kind of stuff. So she started a porcelain and ceramics store with my mom, and they had the original mold. They actually designed the original mold that became Precious Moments. So it was called Johnny Teardrop at the time, and then they sold the whole line. It became Precious Moments, and that's when it like blew up, right? But anyway, she was awesome. She was in her 70s, and she would just kind of like mob around, and she would drink her boxed wine all day long, and always, you know, would wake up in the morning, get fully dressed, have her costume makeup on, or not makeup, costume jewelry on, makeup, and do the whole 9 yards. And she also had a terrible addiction to QVC, and she had a phone installed in her master bedroom that had one button on it, and when she picked it up, it was QVC, and she'd press that one button and it would order what was on the screen. And so I don't know, they lived very differently to us. Anyhow, she was a badass. Yeah, he didn't. He's actually the one that told me the story. Back to good. What's happening? Just got done eating dinner. Hope all is well.
What's up?
It is. It's been quite a week, but yeah. Ooh. I can't eat chili without crackers and crushed up tortilla chips. Delicious. Yeah.
Yummy.
I had chili dogs. Like, I was literally, when the countdown clock on the starting video was at 11 seconds, I was taking my last bite of my chili dogs. Because I was like, thanks for the glizzy. Glup, glup. I think the difference now is parents are expected to cater to what kids want to eat. I was told to eat or starve. There were no discussion or options.
This is why we need that cellar with a lock on it.
Yeah.
Because then, you know,
Yeah, because
they don't have food unless they're served it.
See, she's coming around to it. Come to the dark side.
Yeah, I guess who's still cooking though?
Yeah, but still.
That's why there's food.
I just jump. Sometimes I'll look at her and she just looks like she doesn't want to cook, and I'll just be like, I'll creep into the kitchen and start whipping something up, and then she'll come in and be like, "Oh, you're cooking," and be like, "Yeah, because I love you."
Yes. You are wonderful.
Thank you. I just wanted praise publicly.
Oh.
Yeah, and here we are talking about food. See, that's what happens when we run out of stuff to talk about from our last week. We get into what we all really come here to do, which is talk about food. Oh yeah, a recipe section of the website. Yeah, it's there's some kind of a tech issue right now on the community page that we're trying to get sorted out. It's down right this second, but that would be a great idea to have a whole section of just like recipes that'll feed a family or feed, you know, people, you know, because that's what we're talking about. Yeah, almost homesteading. My grandmother and mother actually made the original mold for the original doll that became Precious Moments, right? So it was called Johnny Teardrop, and they sold it to the company that became Precious Moments. Ooh, almost homesteading. What is QVC? You know the Home Shopping Network? That was the one back then. And you could get, you know, she had like this platinum membership when that meant something. Okay, so for example, my grandpa owned an engineering company, and they made O-rings for, like, he worked on the Saturn V project, right? And he made O-rings for offshore rigs that he had. Every offshore rig needed hundreds of thousands of these things, it seemed like. And he had the patent on it and the tools to make the thing and the process, all of that stuff. And so they did pretty well. Other members of our family, you know, did other things with it. But my grandma, no matter how much my grandpa would make, my grandma would spend it on QVC. And one day, my mom gets a phone call from my grandma saying, "You got to get up here. You got to get up here before your dad gets here." And she's like, "Oh my God, okay." So she gets in the car. She goes up, and there is an entire UPS truck worth of packages that are outside of the front door. And she is just like terrified that Grandpa is going to come home. This is before Christmas, right? We had these massive, elaborate Christmases. It was crazy. And so anyway, my mom's sitting there, and for like 3 hours straight, they're going through and finding places to hide all of these packages. It's pretty funny. Right? QVC. Yeah, right, Elizabeth? So you may not have heard this story. Everybody asked me if we're going to build a root cellar, and I'm like, absolutely, but not for the reason that you think. You know, most people think, I'll build a root cellar, I'm going to store my root vegetables, my canned goods, and all that stuff in there. No. There'll be a section for that. What I really want is an underground, impenetrable fortress with a big steel bank door that I can lock and have biometric codes to get into to hide my snacks in, because I'm sick and tired of waking up in the morning and having had the children eat my donuts over the nighttime. It's not acceptable. And for that, we will have this bunker fortress. Oh, best veggie recipes. Nice. Yeah, isn't that a good idea? As soon as we get that figured out, I don't know what's happening with it. It's not on our side. It's on the platform side. I'm sure they'll have it sorted out in the next day or so. When I was a kid, we were super rural and only got 3 channels, none of which were shopping channels. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of how our house was. We weren't super rural, but we didn't have cable, and it was back when we had the boxes, you know. We didn't have cable, so whatever would come in on the antenna, which changed from day to day, that's what we had. Yeah. Well, Lever, you want to come back so you can say bye? Joey seems to walk out right when we're about to jump off. What's the deal? Yeah, anyway, yeah, my grandparents were amazing. 13, 17, 23 were the channels, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, it was good stuff. Hey, love. She must have walked outside. Yeah. That was the good stuff. So anyhow, that was basically our week and all the things that I can think of to talk about this evening. We talked about food, which is the most important part of the night, because talking about food is like what family does, right? We are going to need to set up something so we can share recipes, because I got some recipes for things that my mother would kill me for giving out to anyone. But, you know, you might just have to fight it out. Like the family potato salad, if she's watching right now, because sometimes she'll sit in here and watch and see what secrets I'm putting out. But I don't know exactly how she made it, but I did get her to admit once that the way I make it is even better. So I feel like I can give up that recipe. It's like a German style with all the fixins plus bacon. Is good. It's super good. So anyhow, but I'm ready to go and finish up our evening. You guys got anything else that you'd like to say or ask before we end off the live stream? D.S. Lechner, we'll see you later. We'll probably see you tomorrow on the Clock app.
Yeah, buddy.
210, 59, sometimes 27 or 38 if the antenna was right. My dad made the coolest antenna out of sawhorses. He covered sawhorses with tinfoil and then wrapped wire around one side of the sawhorse so it had like this, descending, triangular shape to the coil, and ran that down to the TV. That was the first time we ever had like a bunch of channels. It was crazy. 39 was our 4th channel on a good day. Yep. Yeah, my mom is descended from the woman who threw the chicken. Yes. Yeah, that's where they get their spiciness from. Yeah. I'm gonna spill her secrets. You might get a cookbook thrown at your head. Yeah, my mom's the type to just like, what you want to go, how many rounds you got in you, I would never want to get in a street fight with my mom.
I've been told numerous times, not by him, but I'm too nice, so that he doesn't ever have to contend with.
Oh yeah, no, she's got that thing though where I'm like, I'm gonna just back off. I'm gonna back off, because you never know. You never know. Can you ever know someone that well? I love you, love.
That's funny.
Larks, I'm still here, but so has called on lunch break. Sweet. So I'll tune back in shortly. Not a problem. We're actually jumping off, so I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and check out all the things. I'm gonna put out that video tomorrow on the YouTubes, and if you guys could do me a favor and go in and comment on it and like it and watch it again and have a good laugh at my expense. Okay? We love you guys. We will see you next week. And we'll end with this. My husband wishes I was that nice. All right, guys. I'm going to go enjoy a dad tax from last night. And we will see you later. Thank you for coming to our sTEaD Talk.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Good night, Bethany. Good night, Elizabeth. Have a good
Larks
night
and
as
Almost
well.
Homesteading.
Larks
And Back to
Maureen.
Good and D.S.
Lechner.
Lechner and Bethany and Elizabeth and if Diva's still here and
anyone else that
anyone
was
else.
here
Lila,
just
if you're still here, have a great week.
kind of chilling.